Working from the office was the norm before the pandemic, but a lot of people are getting really upset, frustrated. They're even quitting their jobs over these return to office mandates. There's the question of trust. So a lot of people either took a job or stayed in a job or even had kids because they had promises from management that remote work or hybrid work was permanent. And then when that suddenly changed, they felt betrayed. And I think what makes people feel most bitter about it is that they feel like they've spent the last few years proving that they can be as productive from home as they can from the office. When I spoke to employees and labor experts, a lot of them talked about the issue of control. So traditionally, employers can maintain a lot of control over their employees when they can actually oversee them. And so without that physical oversight, a lot of employers felt like employees might be slacking off on their dime. Employees have other theories too, that employers are actually implementing these return to office mandates as a form of quiet downsizing, essentially making the work situations of employers so impossible, so untenable that they quit rather than paying potentially very expensive severance. So there are some concerns from employers that employees lose that bit of creativity and collaboration that they get from working in an office when they spend most or all of their work week from home. And what the evidence shows is actually the complete opposite. Study after study shows that employees are more productive, more creative when they're working from home compared to their in-office counterparts. So what people are losing in the office is actually that creativity and focus, because a lot of them are returning to offices that are loud, overcrowded. A lot of employers, and this extends to both private and public sector, announced these changes without making sure that their office space was ready for this influx of employees to return. One federal employee in Ottawa that I spoke to said that there's a system where you can book online for the ability to have one of the dedicated quiet workspaces. And so what people are doing is they're staying up until midnight and then pouncing on those spots as soon as possible, almost as if they're trying to get tickets for a Taylor Swift concert. The interesting thing is that we've actually already seen the solution in practice in place since the beginning of the pandemic. And that solution is a hybrid work environment. You get the best of both worlds. You get that freedom to work from home and to manage your day-to-day responsibilities, whether that's family or anything else. So there are a lot of companies that have maintained that flexible arrangement, but as we've seen, especially from examples like Ontario's provincial governments, they're going all the way with 5 days a week. And a lot of those changes have been done without consulting unions, who have been arguing that flexible work is the way of the future. So what remains to be seen is whether employers will take heed of this, especially if their bottom line starts taking a hit.